Okay, clean paper. Let's turn it this way. What's up, you guys? What's up? What's up? What's up? If y'all are new, welcome to Talk Taurus Tarot. If you're returning, welcome back, you guys. Sorry, my bad. I'm trying to fix something. There we go. All right. So I got a download, and we're gonna see what it's about. All right. There is a 1010 portal that is significant for a collective. And this portal is supposed to close around 11 p.m. So, the download that I got, Spirit, is something to do with a blockchain. All right. All right. So, there's some type of chain of events that are about to happen. Okay. 4. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 major events. Okay. And they're all connected to a specific choice. Okay. So think of it like a domino effect, but they're all connected. So it's something about activation in DNA. All right. Something to do with molecules, activation in DNA, and these series of events will unlock. Okay. So it's like an unlocking of some sort of, unlocking this information or whatever this is, unlocking or activating in the DNA is going to create a domino effect in like a radius. Okay. So anyone connected to, um, anyone connected, linked, doesn't have to be by blood, but it's pretty much, think of it like a radioactive wave. Okay. So this radioactive wave will surround, okay, a certain amount, like a wide range of anyone connected directly to that source. Okay, so there's some type of source code that is going to be unlocked from this 1010 portal. Now, there is a hidden agenda as well, and that's where we got the rattling the snake. Okay, so they played this the sound of a rattlesnake. Okay, so y'all know that the sound of a rattlesnake. And then they also played the sound of Tarzan. Do y'all remember the scene out of Tarzan where like the keychain? So like the keys on a chain and then the rattling sound of that, and then that sound would kind of trigger. So there is a significant trigger button that's being utilized or pressed. All right. In result, which all stems back to this hidden agenda. All right. So just follow me. If it doesn't make sense, that's okay. But if it makes sense to you, then this message is for you. Okay. So this trigger button is designed specifically to pretty much deactivate this particular chain of events. Okay, it's meant to turn it off. So if you've been experiencing a lot of awakening, hyper awareness, any of these types of symptoms where you're either dreaming or you're not able to remember your dreams, just a hyper sense of awareness where you're feeling a lot of things. You don't really know what it means, but you feel triggered. You feel highly triggered. All right. It's something that is, it's a radioactive wave that is currently in effect. So this is the blockchain effect. That's what they said to me. So that's what we're going to go with. Let's see. All right. What else? Sorry, I looked at the chat and it broke my concentration. So give me a second. All right, so the objective is to break your concentration. All right, breaking your concentration will conjure up doubt. Okay, so doubt will prevent you pretty much when this, as this portal is currently open, you need to hold concentration, meditation of some sort, whatever your ambitions are, whatever it is that you desire for your future, your heart's desires is being unlocked right now. The reason why there's so much emotional waves, emotions, sadness, happiness, grief, all these different emotions are all being brought to the forefront and making you aware of them. If you become distracted or triggered or rattled by whatever emotion is conjured up in yourself, it will distract you long enough for this portal to come and go. So during this time, right now, being in meditation or being in a state of calm, okay, the eye of the storm, which is why they're telling me the middle. Being in the eye of your own storm right now is really going to make sure that whatever intentions that you want for your future, that you want for your life, that space is held for you and nothing else outside of your intentions will be replaced. Because if you move away from this portal, right, what do you see, right? 1010 also becomes what? 1100. Right? So the two, okay, so there's two people here. That's what they're telling me. All right, you're holding space for yourself and you're holding space for whatever that is. Okay, for some of you, it's going to look different, but they are telling me that these are two people in agreement with something. So let's say, for example, you're in agreement that you want to activate a new paradigm, a new reality, right? And you're in alignment for that. And then you go through something emotional and it distracts you. And then now all of a sudden you're unsure if you want to walk through that door. Well, then that's where the seed of delay is being created. They're utilizing, the hidden agenda is to utilize you to block yourself from walking through that door. Okay? From giving yourself permission to have your heart's desires. So you need to be standing at that door. Okay? Until it's a perfect sequence. And this is something that you can reutilize during a specific time of day every single day, right? So before you wake up in the morning, all right, let's say it's 1 a.m. So they're pretty much saying it's not a one-time thing, but the more that you do it, the more it activates and the more you're the one standing in the eye of the storm. You're the one standing in that front door, and no other hidden agenda can distract you from it or create or alter your life events. Okay, because this is something that can be life changing or life altering, and it's through this activation, it's through this major unlocking in yourself, right, that brings it into fruition. But of course the hidden agenda doesn't want you to believe that you even have that ability. to access that inside of yourself. Okay, so that's what the rattling is. It's intended to get you distracted, triggered, upset, and then you become radioactive, which means whatever they say to you, okay, whoever is doing it, whatever they say to you, you react to that heat wave. They heated you up, you respond. Okay, so then who's in control? It's not really you in control over you anymore. It's whoever's puppeteering you. So pain is only as real as you want it to be. All right? Pain is only as real as you want it to be. Pain. So, for example, how can I explain it to you? The fear of pain makes you aware of pain, right? The fear of falling off of a bike makes you aware that it's going to hurt. It's not the actual fall, because if you've ever fell off a bike before and you weren't afraid to fall, for whatever reason, you didn't feel the pain, right? The reason why you didn't feel the pain was because you didn't fear the fall. Yeah, you didn't fear the fall. So it's important that you don't fear whatever is coming or whatever it is that's currently here. Just don't fear it. Whatever you feel, don't fear it. If it's stage fright, don't fear it. If it's you and yourself and you're afraid of yourself or what you're about to become or who you're about to come, don't fear that. All of those things will create fear. It will be like a symptom of it. You remind yourself that it isn't real unless you want it to be. And that's how you will be able to use it. Utilize that as from an empowering state versus a traumatic state. A traumatic state of mind would affirm to you that it's happening to you. But an empowered state of mind would perceive that what's happening isn't real. So psyching yourself out, tricking yourself, or whatever discomfort that you feel is necessary during this time. That's what they have said. So you can remain in a particular vibration. All right, what is this? What is this? We're going to put these back. All right, Spirit, what other messages do you have for Taurus? So I'm hearing stay in the vortex of whatever your intentions are every day for the next 21 days at this same hour. So between 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. You want to remain in that vortex of whatever your intentions are. And that's going to create a very solid foundation. So meditating during that time of day, making that your sacred hour. And this is for the practice of manifestation. Yeah, we have abundance here. So spend time with whatever. This is like the time of hour they're saying to spend time with your intention, whatever that intention may be for you. Because I feel like you're making something out of nothing. You're producing something out of nothing. You're evolving yourself. You're working on yourself. So I feel like during this period, they're not really saying that you have to, like, you don't have to do any like major ritual. It's like just sit with yourself. Okay, just be with yourself. Use that as the hour of imagination for yourself, before you drift to sleep, right? Yes, she's aware that there are a lot of projections behind her with all of these dots behind her or evil eyes. She's aware of all those things, but she knows that they're asleep, and she's the main character of her life. She is the, no matter what she's been through, she's the main character of her life. So she keeps her head up, right? That's the same thing with the Queen of Pentacles energy that I'm seeing here. Because I feel like a lot of you are shifting from a certain, you're shifting from one energy into another. You're shifting from like having to work super hard to manifest your reality into a space of imagination, creativity, blossoming. So no matter what your responsibilities are throughout the day, they're pretty much asking you to sacrifice watching TV or sacrifice whatever you would be doing during that particular hour and give it to that creation, give it to that vision that you have of your future, and it will manifest. That's what they're saying. It will manifest like magic. All right, so we have illness, weakness, fragility, goal. It's not going to work. You see how I said this is the time for you to imagine and manifest, okay? Because there is projections. There is projections. There's evil eye. There's a lot of things. And with illness here, this is intended for you to go back and be afraid of going through this new portal or having this new life. And you be like, well, wait a minute. Am I doing something wrong? This is the objective of the block chain. So you know how, like, for example, Hunger Games, districts. Think of it like districts. Based off of your reality and your story, you've been sanctioned to certain districts, right? And in those districts, you have a certain story that's on a loop in your block, in your city, in your environments. And when you try to shift out of that habitat and go into another one, right? Because it's not working for you. You want a bigger enclosure, you want a better life, all those different things. You feel like you've outgrown your previous enclosure. So what has to happen is they have to trigger you to prove to the universe that you're not ready to cross over, that you're not ready to experience the new reality that you're creating for yourself. Remember, you're creating something out of nothing, which means those before you weren't able to do this. Those before you, you're doing it just based off your DNA. You're doing it just based off of your own knowing. No one has taught you this. So you're accessing your own information from multiple lives, from passed down information, and you are actively co-creating with the universe, right? But if this paradigm, okay, the illusion of the paradigm that you're currently in can get you to doubt yourself, can get you to limit your belief, then it's successful at getting you to walk away from the door that's already been open for you. The door is open. You just don't know. You just don't believe that it's open. Or you don't know the certain symbols and codes and different things or access points to be at in order to really align with it in a more effective way, because you don't have no books, you don't have no references, you don't have no proof of this. So it's like this is completely this completely left field, out of your blocks, out of your block style thinking. So what do you do? What is it going to do? It's going to trigger you and get you to be like, you know what? I sabotaged myself. You know what? I doubted myself. Maybe it's not meant for me. Maybe it's not real. Maybe I'm just imagining things. Maybe I'm just hallucinating. And maybe some of y'all are. Sorry. But for those that know that you aren't, this is a hidden agenda. Okay. And you know you're not going to have evidence of it. It just is what it is. Because if you don't learn the lesson, you can't shift paradigms. If you don't become aware of this trigger, you can't evolve. The evolution would be repeat itself. You would have to go through this same cycle again and again and again until you get it right. And you don't have to do all of that. So for many of you, this is the season where you have mastered something. You know exactly the time of year that somebody comes back around, right? It's predictable. Someone always comes around during income tax season, Christmas, every major holiday. There's going to be a hidden agenda to get back into your life and get back with you. That's nothing brand new. You know that. You also know that there's a 3 to 6 months cap on how well someone can behave until they start showing you their ass again. So you've acquired so much data from your own experiences. To repeat it would be insane. It would be insanity. But that doesn't mean that the enemy's not going to try, right? That doesn't mean that the force is working against you getting out of your own constructs of your cages that they put you in, the blocks and the chains that they attached you to. They're not going to attempt to get you to betray yourself. By what? Not believing that you're going to find anything better. So you settle and you settle and you settle and you settle. So the real question becomes, what is your dream? What is your dream? What vision of your life have you received? What has your future self been telling you? What version of you is trying to get you to see that you don't have anything to worry about? You're already good. It's already happening for you. So this is a testament of your faith. The end of this cycle looks like your faith is stronger. It looks like you're a lot more confident in your belief systems that you created for yourself. You're a lot more resilient and you have more faith in your I am affirmations rather than what other people think or say of you. This is your liberation. This is your moment that some people never get to. Many before you haven't even got the opportunity to walk through this door, to experience this version of reality, but you're doing it. So your spirit guides, your angels, they are all rooting for you. Your ancestors, they want you to learn this lesson. They want you to evolve. And they want you to know that can't nothing happen to you. Because I feel like a lot of you, with this compromise energy, it's showing me so many different scenarios. Okay. I'm seeing the conflicts that you guys really have to battle. All right. This is battling over a whole lot of stuff. Putting you in the middle of things that you don't even really want to be in. Okay. Just trying to just live an honest life and not be bothered. And you know, right, with optimism, practicality, and protection, that the forces that work against you know that you're up to something. They know it. They know that you are in tune with the order of how things work in the seasons. They know that you're preparing yourself for a harvest. They know this. So of course, every last single person, they're going to try to strike you where it hurts. So where it puts you down, out of commission, where you're like, you know what, I just can't take it anymore. That is not the truth. You were built for this. You were born to do this. That's pretty much saying you were born for this. And not just any reward. Okay? You're not going to get just any reward. You're going to get the one that you consider to be scrumdiddlyocious. That's the one you're going to get. The one that you consider to be the best of the best. And that's your heart's desires. That's the one that I see here for you. But of course, they don't want you cashing in on your own inheritance. This is your inheritance. All right? Many of you made your ability to come back and forth from this realm into the other realm. Your ability to time travel, your ability to come and incarnate over and over again. You pretty much made the entire grid. You made the system that is being used against you. You made the orders that are being used against you. You left the writings on the wall. You left the signs in the crops. That's who y'all are. You just don't remember it. But you will. You will. That's the master teacher energy. All right, let's see. Yep, I told you this impulsive energy. This is impulse. This is intended to get you to run back. It's fear. This is only fear. So what does fear start doing? Oh, okay, so you're not giving me no attention. I'm going to start having you're going to be extra clumsy this week, or you're going to be knocking over stuff. You're going to find yourself bumping your toe. You're going to find yourself, and then the first thing you're going to think is somebody's doing it to you. Yes, it is something, right? And the energy that's surrounding it is hot-headed, is impulsive energy. So an increase in car accidents. This is also predictions for that. And an increase in fights and arguing. This is chaos. And when there's a heat wave in your city, what do? Rage is the first response. It's the most primal response. Rage is the most instinctual response to situations. I'm going to defend myself. That's a distraction. It's another D word. Distraction, defense mechanism. Trigger that, and it'll get you regretting real fast, and then you'll have to re-heal and rework on yourself and redo a lot of work that you've already done. And it's pointless because you already know the simulation. You've been shown the simulation time and time again. You know how this story goes. And you know how I know that y'all know how this story goes is because when you hear it, when you hear the energy all over the ethers, all over the 5D, you'd be like, oh, I heard this story before. Oh, I'm so tired of hearing this story. It's your story on replay because you can't remember. Every time you go to sleep, you forget that you played this story out already. So when you wake up, you have amnesia. And now all of a sudden you're like, oh, it's a new day. That's great. Yes, it's a new day, but it's the same story. So now they need you to die enough times so you can see it and catch it now. The next time you do it, you'll catch it and it won't happen the same way. And so now you're changing your fate. But the forces that be don't want you to be able to change your fate because fate is what this entire realm is built on. The fate of your demise, humanity's demise. Some of you will see it and some of you won't see it. Some of you will understand and hear it and some of you won't. But that's okay. But this is still it's still going to be left there for you to find it. See, one of the things that's required is it's one thing if one person make it out. But when a person, like in the book that I showed you, all right, when a person that is the type of source code where when they make it out of something, it has a radioactive response that wakes up millions and trillions at the same time. that type of activation is that type of assignment, that type of person, that type of soul is of interest. So of course, when you pack that much power, when you're that dynamite, okay, with the good times. I'm sorry. When you're that dynamite, the objective is to be to go in, and what do they do with explosives? What do? They disarm it. And the only way to disarm you is to hit you where they feel it hurts, right? Is to try to hit you where they feel it hurts. Yeah. And so you descend, and you're no longer on that frequency where you're untouchable. You're no longer exalting. You're no longer feeling yourself. You no longer feel good, right? And now, whatever that dimension is capable of affecting you by, they've gotten you to lower your defenses. They've gotten you to like popping an air balloon and getting you to like go all the way down and fizzle out, and then you're like, oh, that's when that realm, okay? Because they can't mess with you when you're so far in the sky, when your head is too high. They can't mess with you. So what they have to do, they have to humble you and make you doubt yourself. And that's a fact. This is fact, not fiction. But this is definitely a little entertaining because they are easily triggered. The forces that work against you are easily triggered by your ability to know that you're free. It's like, it's one thing for you to get out, but now you're trying to come back for other people. All right, you're waking up other people. You're not just, it's not a one and done. See, they were willing to offer you the deal if you were only taking yourself. But that don't resonate with you. So y'all are powerful. Y'all are powerful. You're like, nah, that's okay. I don't like to give up. I don't like to give up on myself. I don't like to give up on my people. I don't like to give up on my mission. But they underestimated you. They underestimated you because they felt like you were slow. They felt like you were blind. They felt like you were limited. But all you needed was a little bit of love. Okay? So what I'm seeing here is, let me tell you something. When a Taurus feels loved, they feel secure. I don't know what it is about Taurus energy, but when a Taurus feels like their love and their relationship and their family, their home is secure and is strong and is untouchable, a Taurus will walk into the fire. that's that's the type of confidence. That's the type of power. They'll place that stubborn energy in more productive ways. So for a long time, the experiences that Taurus have had to endure were all around heartbreak. It was all strategically placed around emotional dissatisfaction because that's your source. You're a master. That's the master teacher's path. That's the portal to the heart. That's the portal to the soul. All right. Because you don't just see love for what it is, you feel it. It's different. It's different when you're looking at it through the eyes. You can recognize someone. But when you experience love and it hits you from the heart chakra, it's a totally different thing. That's why Taurus possess the ability to snatch souls. Because that's the portal that it comes through. That's the portal where you become aware of what love is through that chakra. You become aware of God through that chakra. It's not in the sacral, and those are portals too, but the one in the heart, Taurus got that under lock and key. And that's just period. So all you needed was love, okay? Love, good friendship, and to know that you're safe. When a Taurus trusts, it's a wrap. All right? This is what unlocks trust. Knowing that a person won't give up on them, knowing that a person won't give up on you, knowing that they're going to be your friend, you could be yourself, right? And feeling safe to fall, right? With another person, to fall and feel like that's trust right there. Those are the three core ingredients. Without those things, there is no love. So you know this about yourself. You feel me? You know this about yourself. So if anyone comes to you, right, it's gonna be if you don't feel like you could trust the person, it's gonna be hard for you to work. It's gonna be hard for you to really shit. It's gonna be hard for you to do anything, even to commit, make plans. But y'all will not be oppressed anymore. That's pretty much what it's saying here. Because anybody that has broken your trust before, there ain't no getting it back. And if you can be okay with that, and if you can accept that, nothing, no thoughts, no conjured thoughts, no conjured, like, well, what if this and what if that? No. If you know that a person has shown you time and time again that they're untrustworthy, that a person has shown you that they will not trust you, what's the point of forcing them? If a person has placed you in the friend zone so heavy to the point where they made it conditional or contingent of their love based off of you earning their trust, that's a trick right there. Right? That's how they trick you. And I'm not saying, oh, I'm talking about when a person friend zones you. There's a difference, okay? So know the difference between getting to know someone, and going through the gradual steps. But I'm talking about the type of where it's like this high value shit where it's like you're never good enough, right? And they put you in this friend zone because, truth be told, if a person is really into you or vice versa, they won't put you in that friend zone. You see what I'm saying? So the universe is telling you 18 here. Turn it down. Something for me, baby. The universe is telling you that this is your blessing. This is your reward for your hard work. But all those attachments, those cords, they feel like you're moving on beyond them. They feel like you've been, listen, they feel like you out here in love. Okay, so now they want teamwork with you, but you're happy. You see what I'm saying? You're happy. And they know that you're happy. So if you ain't happy yet, you about to be happy. And that's what Spirit is pretty much saying. I could find it for you. So they jealous. And that's pretty much all it is. They're jealous. And so they're going to try to force you get back into your caves, get back into your hibernation. You don't need to be out here. You're meant to be alone. These are people trying to convince you that you're meant to be loveless. You're meant to be isolated. Right? But here you are, you're fighting against that. You're rebelling against that. So if they have a problem with it, who cares? Right? But you see how you're on your high horse? The first thing they're going to try to do is take you off your damn high horse, humble you. Or you might want to be humble about that. You might not want to think too big. This is like saying, I'm going to be a billionaire. And someone is saying, that's a reach. I can see you being a millionaire, but a billionaire, come on. That's a negative person. That's a negative contradiction. And you don't need that in your circle, right? Unless you're going to transmute it and use it as fuel to your fire. You see here? 1111. Telling you. Spirit is pretty much saying, you see 711. You took a risk. You recently took a risk to open up to love again. If you haven't, this is a prediction that you will. This will happen for you when you're at a position in your emotional life where you feel like I am happy with my belief systems. I'm happy with my standards. I'm happy with who I am. I know what I deserve. I know what I'm worth. That is the only sweet spot that your spiritual team wants you in, because that's when you're going to make healthy choices. That's when you're going to make fair choices when it comes to dating people, when it comes to mingling and all those different things. Um, and you'll be able to really negotiate from a well balanced standpoint versus being, um, paranoid, superstitious, with this caution energy here. Everybody's out to get you. Like, you really had to leave that behind. You have 711, 711, 1111, 77. So all of these numbers is pretty much saying that you're ascending to a divine type of love, a divine type of, yeah, a divine story. So this is like some type of sacred timeline, sacred. You're aligning to a sacred timeline, a sacred type of love. Yeah, because you have romance here. Oh yeah, you're doing something very different. It's so beautiful. I feel like I've been reading Taurus energy for years. For years. Maybe not for years, but it felt like for years. It has been for years. It's been about 4 years. 3, 4 years. We're coming on our fourth year. But for Taurus specifically, it's been about 2 years. We're coming up on 2 years. And for 2 years, 365 days of readings and evolution and holding space for love, reminding you, Taurus, that you deserve love. It's no mistake. It's divinely guided. Divine timing. You know how many days of the week that is to hear divine timing, divine timing, divine timing? Oh my God. For true love, which means going into this experience, you believed in your heart of hearts that there was someone out there for you. You believe that wholeheartedly. And look at this. There's no more obstacles. There's no more karma. There's no more, like, you're going home. You're going home to your love. You're going home to this. This is, I'm telling you, you're getting true love. I don't care what your circumstance look like. It's coming for you. You have it. It's yours. It's done. And even if you are at the beginning and you're new to the channel, or you're just new on this journey and you found the channel, whatever, it doesn't matter how old. All of these channel messages on this channel are timeless. They will never go old. Every story told, you will experience it some way, somehow, in its own way. And when it's necessary, it will find you. But this next phase in your life, this is only the beginning. So if you haven't watched videos in the past and you feel like drawn to it, all of those channel messages are tools and resources for your own unlocking and for your own journey. But it's all connected because, like I said, each and every single one of you are like heat waves. You're radioactive. Whatever you unlock in yourself, it will create a ripple effect of these chains of events, because you've tapped into this love, this frequency, this divine love. And this sacred divine love timeline it's beautiful. So it's like spirit wants you to hold that in your heart space where it's like, I know what I feel. I'm not going to let my mind play tricks on me, right? I'm not going to be in conflict. My mind and my heart are not going to be in conflict with each other. Gifts are about to be activated. You know, a new version of yourself is coming in. Like you're opening up, like you're blossoming. It's beautiful. It just really is beautiful. Whew. I'm telling you, that damn devil was busy, but look at it in reverse again. These are two, where is it? Y'all see this? Two Eight of Swords from two decks in reverse. Two gifts. You see the confirmation, which means this is happening for two people. Okay, y'all are becoming whole. One whole heart. It's like, it's magic. It's magical here. So I don't care if your friends, family, or anybody doesn't agree with it. It doesn't even matter. Because this is divinely guided. And that's just period. All right. Last messages for Taurus spirit. Any other messages for Taurus? Let's see. So we have gossiping. So what you need to know right now, you will be betrayed in some type of capacity with friends. I don't know. It feels like there is some form of he say, she say. Okay. Uh-huh. All these feelings. I told you. So you have the Three of Cups in reverse, which is trying to, like I said, trying to shoot you like a bird out the sky, trying to pull you back down into confusion. This may be other people's situations, all right? For others of you, this is just people talking, soliciting other people, family, friends, and they're all talking about you because these are family disputes, okay? This is also Nine of Pentacles. You're just people in you're just all over people's mouths. That's all I'm seeing here. Not that it matters, but eventually I do feel like it will come out, and it's like spirit is pretty much saying, let the cards fall where they may, let the chips fall. Let people say what they're gonna say. The Eight of Pentacles in reverse is pretty much asking you to break your focus, but when it happens, you already knew it was going to happen. So it's like, oh, I already saw that coming a mile away. TT already told me that. I already seen this happening, you know? And so look at there. Your angels are saying, we're just making you aware, giving you a heads up. So this way, if you're sensitive to betrayals or you're sensitive to negative experiences, it can cause you no pain. Never meant to cause you no pain. Baby, yeah. I just want to go back. So you got people that want to get back with you. They want the old version of you, Taurus. And the old version of you is dead and gone. So they want you to snap and be like, look what you made me do. They're trying to pull out the snake. They're trying to pull on your Lilith energy and get you to be like, you know what? I've always been retributed in this way. I've always been rejected in this way. So they're trying to trigger you by making you aware of the betrayals, reminding you of how it has always been happening to you, and be disappointed and checking people and, boundaries. You don't have to address your boundaries. They're invisible boundaries for a reason, because people are meant to step on them. Because if they don't step on your boundaries, you wouldn't be aware of the lines that what people are really capable of. If people didn't test those boundaries, they wouldn't be good students to a hierophant, right? If you're becoming a leader, you're becoming a hierophant. The students have to test their limitation. The children have to see what they can get away with. So let them. Let them play in the playground, because you're going from being in the playground to being the moderator of that playground. So when they cross over your boundaries and they try to get away with things, and you're wise as a serpent but as gentle as a dove, you hold space for them. Okay? You hold space for them. Oh, look at this little trickster. Look at this clever one here thinking that they can do me. Look at this little, look at little Beverly down the street. And then Beverly's going to talk to you and be like, I thought this. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you did, didn't you? Well, Beverly. And then you take them to on a little stroll down Waverly Place. And then they'd be like, oh my God. They have to learn some way or another. And you're the leader now. So you're pretty much evolving into a leader. After creating your own lane for yourself. So pretty much Spirit is saying, for those of you that are ascending like this and you're becoming that Hierophant, it's never personal. It's always on purpose, right? They need to test you. They need to try you. Because if they don't try you, then all you're doing is duplicating the Piscean age of a bunch of followers and yes men and yes women. But when they challenge you and when they attempt to rattle you or provoke you, you have the wisdom of both the snake and the dove. And you get to choose how you want to wield both swords rather than just swinging that shit around and be like, "Hiya, I cut you." Stop cutting people out here on these streets, okay? Because your voice is like a wave. Everything that you say is done. So when you correct a situation, I feel like your imagination is going to open up. Your brain is going to really, you're going to be like, wow, I didn't even think I could respond that way. And that's that code, that's that DNA being activated inside of you where you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't even know I was capable of responding to this type of simulation in this way or this type of dynamic in this way. And it shows the level of maturity, growth, right? And what else? Like everything is just about to be, you're just gonna, it's like you got new downloads. You know how when you have those cell phones, but it's like basic software? I feel like I'm talking to the type of Taurians where you're about to go on the, you're about to go on the app store and start downloading a whole bunch of different, you're finna make it your own with your own personality, where you download like different backgrounds. And now the phone isn't just the simple software that it came with, and now it's like your text message is a different font. You know what I'm saying? Your background, the system main the main system software has its own upgrade. That's pretty much the type of energy that I'm picking up on. And so you're adorning yourself differently. That's also going to be changing as well in this prediction. I see everything about you changing. Your taste is changing. What you do and don't like is changing. You're just going through this whole metamorphosis. And the best part about all of this is they want you to practice playing with these simulations and these experiences. It gets fun from here. It's like they're pretty much saying it gets fun from here. It's not personal, it's never personal, but it does get fun because it's like you get a knock at the door and then you're like, oh, so now you're finna be hearing more downloads and more conversations with your guides. They're going to be telling you stuff. Yes. So now hurt people is no longer hurting you, and you're able to like go to work, do your job, and you don't take your work home with you, a lot of you, you're able to separate, like, okay, that's not my energy. That is someone else's energy. I'm aware of what phase on their healing journey that they're on. And you may have a little bibbity bobbity boo on how to help, you know, one or two. Yeah. I feel like y'all are about to be like that. The you need the password. Y'all about to boss up, okay? And I feel like y'all also are about to be like, you're about to, I don't know, Taurus, y'all might be going into that era where it's like, oh, I always go to my auntie's house. You know how you have that one family member that you always go to? Oh shit. Turn down, Papa. Hold on. That one family member that you always go to because it's like they're just where you go for love. That's what y'all are. Y'all are like the station or the stop where everyone goes for love, because everything's just better at your house. Everything's just better wherever you are, Taurus. The food is better. It's like it's like going into the chocolate factory. Everywhere, but it's real magic here. It's gonna be like, I don't know what it is, but when I come to your house, Taurus, it just feels like everything is all better. Wherever you are, clarify the Knight of Wands, which means y'all gonna get a lot of ooh. Imagine being constantly Let me tell y'all the type of grade. I know what type of grade level y'all gonna have as well. You guys are about to get the grade level of people. They're ambitious. They're ambitious. They have a lot of potential, but they are risky gamblers, okay? So you guys are going to be the ones to help them. Y'all are going to be the ones to help them properly place it in the right way. So I don't feel like you're necessarily just helping heal people that haven't healed from breakups. I feel like y'all are this new path or new mission that you guys are being given. You're like the bringer of opportunities and initiatives. So you activate and initiate certain agendas. So, okay. You're creating opportunities for other people. Now, it's very difficult when you're dealing with this. The Knight of Wands energy in reverse takes patience. You feel me? It takes patience. And these are the type of rebels where when you try to tell them what to do, they buck back. So you're going to have to find a very crafty way to be able to communicate with them in an effective way that allows them to feel inspired versus disempowered, empowered versus disempowered. And a parts of your journey has been, you know, this journey so well because of this used to be you at some point on your journey. It's like you're going to be able to see yourself in them. It's like, I know this. I know this yearning that you have. And it's important that you also be that type of teacher that doesn't solve the problems for them or give them the answers, but rather create the landmine for them. It's really strange when I'm saying like that because it sounds really scientific, but it kind of is. Um, you have to create the simulation for them. So, for example, you have to be able to predict what this person is going to do, like a couple of yards down the line, and already have set in place, you know? When you go to a classroom, don't the teachers already have all of the power, all of the plugs in the room for kindergarten? They have plug stoppers. The reason why they already have that there is because they're already anticipating that the child is going to try to stick something in there because the child is going to do what a child is going to do. So the same concept. Exactly. Create, yes, before they get big money. Yeah, you get it. Let me see. Exactly. So then it is unlocked. And it's not that they have to earn it and do everything right, but it's allowing them to explore their own spirit. They need to be able to feel that spirit inside of them. And the only way you get to feel that spirit is to experience, right? But for whatever reason, rebels are going to be drawn to you. Rebels are going to want to, you're going to find yourself like, you know what? I can see that spirit inside of you that could be easily rattled and misunderstood and often thrown away, or, you don't have the guidance because nobody wants to work with the rebels. Okay. Nobody wants to work with the rebels because they're untamable. But a rebel doesn't want to be tamed. A rebel wants to be entertained. Don't get it twisted. That is what that is what inspires a rebel. It's the spontaneity. When things get too vanilla for a rebel, they become counterproductive. So you have to keep them stimulated because they have a short attention span for repetitious, consistent things. Now be very careful because you don't want to tip them off the deep end, but I do feel like as if some of y'all, this is like, if I could describe this rebel energy. Let me see, Poppy. Hold on. You can't hear anything? Are you sure? I thought I tricked you. Sorry, I didn't trick you good enough. Okay. Anywho, it feels like middle school. It feels like middle school. Y'all know how middle school nobody wants to teach middle school. That's what this feels like. Levels of consciousness, responding to experiences. But when you take an approach where you just, you be cool with them. They feel seen, they feel heard, and it's like you got this. And you get to really it makes your job really easy. Exactly. A rebel is a rebel because they're not heard. So hear them out. You said eighth grade history teacher here in a Title I school. Ooh, bless your heart, Miss Heather. You need to make sure you be in the teachers lounge this weekend, cause Saturdays, Saturn days. All right. For those of y'all that don't know, I moved the teachers lounge to Saturdays, um, just because you get it, lesson plan, like teachers. I'm real corny like that, y'all. Lesson plans, Saturn, teachers. You get it. Anyway. Oh, I'm so corny, but it all goes together. It's all energetically in alignment. So Saturdays, make sure y'all be there. Mhm. So, yeah, I feel like that there's this also provocative energy as well. That this is another realm. This is a cool school. I'm just saying, this is a cool school. You have some cool leaders, and it's like mystery school. You know what I'm saying? Mystery school and all of that. This is fun. Yes, Spirit. Thank you. Yeah, you do have to love what you're doing for you to stick with it. Yes, I really do believe that kids can detect who is a real one. Children have the best and this is why connecting with the inner child is super important, because if your inner child can trust someone, that is where you want to begin. That's where you build the friendship. Your inner child needs to feel that grounded, safe energy. Because if your inner child is in conflict with your adult choices, You may think other people are is making it hard for your relationship to work, but it's your inner child saying, I don't trust this motherfucker. And I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna start tearing stuff up and being mischievous. That is the stage of development that's being overlooked. That's the stage of healing that's being slid, being kind of like put on hold, right? That's the pattern. That's where everything from the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and to your confidence, that's all connected. Adolescence and younger. Would love to hear a reading about autism. Autistic to me is the gifted. So, hmm I believe they're doing exactly what they came here to do. Because, what did I say? You have to become childlike in order to make people respect your boundaries. So, if a child, what does children understand? Actions. The father has been an absent figure in a lot of developmental homes. They were taken out of the home or the home structure. So, what does a father do? Actions and consequences is the first teacher. So, when a person steps over your boundaries, that's an opportunity where you get to get a little spank. So, you had to go through that journey. If y'all remember, the it may have felt like a motherly energy, but it was really a fatherly energy. So, the beginning of a lot of Taurus's readings, I felt myself in the beginning having to be very stern, like a father. And over the course of time, I was able to be more gentle. But the conversations were deep and they were triggering from the very first video ever uploaded on the channel. And it revealed the paternal struggles that were being overlooked. So it's that tough love that came first, and then it was the mother's love, and then it was good cop, bad cop. I'm just reflecting on the tones of expression that was channeled through me. It felt like I was connecting with Saturn, Venus, Saturn, Venus, Saturn, Venus, Aries. So those energies were always channeling through. But ultimately, that's the realm that we had to explore first. And that's why, even as an adult, you don't forget those lessons that your father teaches you or your mother teaches you. Now you take what your father taught you. And when you start dating and a person doesn't respect your boundary, you have to be willing to what? Give tough love, right? Just like your father gave you tough love. But a lot of times the fatherly energy had to channel through to even remind feminine energy, especially on how to have a boundary. So we had to go all the way back to the beginning and learn how to even establish a boundary. Yeah, and probably slammed by the mother person that made them and affects the child a lot. Yeah, but again, if it took all of that, if it took all of that to get to that point, you you have to go back through it. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times people want to avoid the triggering, but it's through the triggering that allows you to be reborn. It's through the sacrifice. Both of it, new beginnings require death, and in order to end something, you have to go back the way you came. So instead of someone else chastising you, you have to chastise yourself, and then you have to learn how to recommunicate to yourself after you've done all the cleaning, spring cleaning. Then that's when you start reorganizing, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm saying all of this. Spirit is having me say this for a reason because this role is being passed down to someone else. This phase is being, someone's getting this, picking up what I'm putting down, and you will utilize it in a very effective way. And that's exactly why I'm here giving it to you this way. Only reader I take notes while watching. I would behoove you. It would behoove you to do so. I agree. Whew, parenting, that's a whole nother dimension. But it's all connected. Um the mother wound is so deep that we think a lot of our issues stem from the father wound, but it's really the mother wound because there is no type of pain like a mother scorned or a woman scorned in general. So to dive down like the Tarot for Moms channel, it goes so deep, right? To like the land of the dragons, and it gets really intense, and it gets really um her rage is totally different. It's on a whole nother level. That takes some gradual work. That takes some gradual work. Um because like I said, a lot of the entire all of this is a feminine's mind being utilized. And when I say a feminine's mind, okay, think about creation is dark matter. So in order for this entire reality to even matter, it was born from the dark. So everything that you don't like about our systems, our school, it's a copy or a duplicate of feminine, of the feminine mind, brain, intelligence, if you will. And so if you're a woman, you're a female, feminine energy, and how do you like it when someone takes something that you create and erase you out of it? You would feel scorned. You would feel some type of way. So that's her energy. But like I said, even that energy is very like lock and key. Like you got to earn it. Earn it, earn it for her to trust you. You have to earn it, earn it. I mean, you have to she will require you give up everything. So okay, in a way, they think you think male energy, masculine energy is scary. Nah, it's feminine energy. That's scary. That is scary. Exactly. You hate when people take your ideas. You replicate your mother energy. You replicate the feminine energy. So whatever her emotions are, you mirror it. And in order for you to say, okay, yes, I'm a branch of you, yes, I'm a creation of you, but I no longer want to identify with that type of resentment, rage, anger, whatever. All of that's feminine energy, dark feminine energy. You have to confront her, and she will attempt to kill you before she lets you go. And then eventually when you finally, this is why the whole process of masculine and feminine is a whole, it's like the dragonfly. They will practically attack each other before they start to synchronize together. And so dating will feel the same way. It'll feel like pulling teeth. It'll feel like sinking claws into each other, right? But it's necessary that y'all go through that challenge because that's the only way she is going to believe that that person is worthy. And just like same for him, his masculine and the feminine inside of him is going to challenge you. It's all the same energy, but it's just the perspective of seeing yourself in someone else. That is where it becomes like, it's one thing to know you are who you are, but when you see another person and they are just like you, oh my goodness, it's a different type of mirroring. It's a different type of silencing. It's like different. Hmm. So I feel like that's kind of like what's pretty much happening now. It's like talking to the moon. What am I doing? Am I doing the right thing? All these thoughts are about to come up to the surface. If you thought you had your healing journey down pat, it only gets more interesting. It's only about to get more interesting um, in the near future. And remember, the first thing that happens is you look for flaws in you look for flaws in each other. You look for flaws. You need to know as much information and gather as much data as you feel like you need to get as much data as you can that you can reference or fact check. Fact check, okay? And then when that checks out, then it's like, okay, something is bound to happen. And that's what you reach into that realm of waiting for the shoe to fall off, right? And then the shoe really doesn't ever fall off. So now you're forced to sit with the reality that nothing bad is about to happen to you or nothing bad is happening. And then it's like, well, what does children do when there's nothing going on? You know how I said that spontaneous fire energy? Idle time is the devil's playground. That's all it is. So if you leave a kid with too much time on his hand and they have time and they're thinking, 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 and then they run out of thoughts, the only thing they're going to do is become mischievous. And it's like, well, let me make a problem. And then you go back into that familiar response. Um, that familiar response of creating problems, making up problems, and they don't even exist to validate your own idle time. And this is why Spirit says you have to have something to get rid of that idle time that you love to do. You got to love something as well outside of each other. I hiked like 9 miles last week trying to get out of my own head because this healing journey is kicking my ass. Yes. Whoo, 9 miles. Yes, baby. Miss Davis, you are doing it. Sheesh, 9 miles? How do you find what you love again? Try everything. Try everything. And keep trying some more. Mm-hmm. Do y'all have any other questions before I get off here? Oh, look, y'all made it past the portal. I think I've gone crazy. I can't get this person out of my mind. Read a book. Yes, 9 miles and didn't realize it till I got home. That's how bad off I was. Whew. Well, at least you had something else hurting more than your feelings. Sometimes you need your body to hurt, make something else hurt. My dad used to do that to me when I was younger. If I said I had a headache, he would like pinch me or something. And then I'd be like, ow, why you do that? And then he'd be like, now, does your head still hurt? And I'd be like, no, my arm hurts. And he'd be like, gotcha. So, how do you deal with failure of the relationship? How do you deal with failure of the relationship? What relationship? Also, Megan, try something you haven't before. Picked up the camera first time. Mm-hmm. Get a hobby. Failure from a marriage. Get a hobby. Do some. Get a hobby that you will like. Try something you never tried before. Go on dates with your hobbies before you start to date someone else. So if you were with someone for 10 years and you invested your whole life in that person, I'm sure there were a lot of things you didn't get to try. So you just start doing them. My body hurts, but my mind was so clear. I got over that bad spot. Yeah, exactly. Any messages for me? What you mean, Aziza? Love yourself. Yes, I'm cooking. You're cooking. What you cooking? So I'm gonna share a little story with y'all. So back in what was this? I think this was 20. Mm, I want to say 2014, right? I got arrested, and I got arrested for traffic violation. So I'm in jail and I'm pregnant. I had to be like 6 months pregnant, right? And this is the first time in my life I'm ever behind bars. And this wasn't just any type of prison. This was Stone Mountain jail. Okay, so county jail felt more like a prison cell. Okay, so I ended up being in the waiting room. Okay, no one came and got me. So I had to be booked. And when you get booked, they take you upstairs, which I thought was very strange because I made it there to the jail like literally, what was it, like 5 p.m.? The whole between 5 p.m. uh between 5 p.m. I should have been out by then. All right, for a traffic violation. It really shouldn't. I didn't even know my license was suspended. Anyway, long story short, I have to get dressed out and carry this very thin, like 2-inch mattress upstairs. And I'm pregnant, mind you, right? So I'm carrying this mattress all the way upstairs, and they have you chained from your ankles to the person in front of you. Your ankles and your hands are all chained and linked to each other. And then on top of that, they have you holding the mattress in your hand, like on the side, and dragging it with it. Worst experience ever. Okay. Worst experience ever. Went upstairs and they put you in the room with the other person. Mind you, the toilet, the sink, and the drinking water are all fucking connected. Okay. They're all connected. And it's like, so I get in the room and it's like a bunk bed. Mind you, the bunk bed, there's no blanket. It's freezing cold in that place. There's no blanket. It's just you and that damn mattress. No sheet, no fitted sheet, nothing. Just you and this little 2-inch thin mattress with stripes on it. So I put that on the bed and I'm like, I'm thirsty. I haven't had no water, right? And you know, when you're pregnant, you have to pee a lot. So I'm like, I need to pee. So I have to pee pretty much with everyone watching and stuff. I asked pretty much the doors were like automatic, so you can't see outside. There's no outside windows, but the door is like, it's not a bar door where you see through it. It's like what's some type of doors? It's like a steel door, pretty much. And so I hit the little buzzer button and I'm like, can I get some water? And she's like, the sink is right there. I'm like, but I don't have no cup. And she goes, use your hands. And I'm like, use my hands to drink water out of a sink. Okay, this is a little different. Um, Wild. And so I pressed the button again, and she's like, "If you press this button again, I'm gonna put you in isolation." Now I don't know what isolation looked like, but I wasn't trying to find out. So I started pressing that little button, and I got to drinking the water out the sink with the hands. Um, but in that experience, I felt myself start to panic, right? And this is where I felt myself kind of confronting my first phobia of being in closed spaces. Like, so being in closed like casket. I probably was buried in a casket before because I don't like closed and small enclosures. I've never liked that, right? But that was the first time where I had to confront that feeling of being in a small enclosure and your mind starts to play tricks on you. So I'm sitting in the room and I don't know whether I want to cry, scream. So you go through this series of emotions and now you're feeling all of these emotions. And I heard a voice inside of myself said to be still. And I sat on that concrete floor, or it was more like, y'all know those cafeteria floors, school floors. I sat on the floor and I crossed my legs and I decided that I didn't want to be there. Okay. And all I remember was one minute I was sitting there and I pretty much sat in that position. When I became aware that I was still there, it was time to leave. And they came and got us around like 5, 6 a.m., right? So they wake you up before the sun comes up to start to take you downstairs and all those other type of stuff. And when I got home and realized that I was sitting in that position, first of all, as a pregnant woman, to sit down in a with your legs folded on a hard floor, you start to feel your body aches. I remember feeling those initial feelings of my leg is falling asleep. I remember the sensation of my leg falling asleep, of me kind of like drifting. So, but I ultimately sat there, and in that experience, anytime I've ever felt something that felt remotely fearful for me, I would always think back to that moment where I got to choose if in that situation, if I was going to be there or not be there. And that was the beginning of a master skill that I feel like I was able to access at that point. And it's also something that I would need to remember on my journey, because I would have to then teach that to my children. So that's where I became aware that I didn't have to feel the pain if I didn't want to, that I didn't have to be there if I didn't want to, that I could be anywhere I wanted to be, so long as my mind could choose it. So I really think that that's, no matter what you're going through, when I say it, I'm not saying it to be insensitive. When I say envision something else, do something else, be somewhere else, the pain isn't real. I'm speaking from experience versus me just telling you and being insensitive. It's a life hack, a very useful life hack, especially being in this work, in this dimension. It's weird when you're at your lowest point of life. We go into shock. Exactly. Exactly. You get the answer key. So in certain situations, yeah, that may have, I didn't want to be in that experience, but I needed to have that experience. And so, yes, my spirit guides were with me. And I do believe that that was the comforting voice that wrapped me in those wings when I felt really scared or I felt as if I was going to lose my shit. It's hard to turn my mind off or slow it down to meditate. Go to sleep. If it's hard for you to meditate, sleep. In America, we don't really get naps. So a lot of cultures practice going to sleep. Lay on your stomach, go to sleep. So you got to think about it like turning your computer off. It's going to naturally do, a PC is going to naturally do that upgrade when you turn it off. So you have to do the same thing manually to yourself, though, if you don't automatically do it. Meditation is, it's like, to me, that's when you get uploads, downloads, uploads. It's like connecting to like AWA. If you could describe it, if I could describe it to you in a context, you'll understand. It's like taking your tail, sitting it down on the floor, right, which is Earth, and connecting it to that infinite intelligence, right? But if you are unable to sit on that tail and connect with Source, then lay down. She'll still find you. And if you struggle with quieting your left brain or your logical brain, play music, whatever speaks to your soul, and focus on the sound of the music. For those of you that know me when I do readings or I'm channeling, there's always a certain song playing in the background. And the songs change, but most of the time it will be the same song. And that's to turn off the logic. So you have sometimes, if that's only for those of you where you know that you have to be the type of kid growing up where you could do homework. Some people need silence, but if you were the type of kid where it's like you gotta listen to music while you do your homework, or you work better when you have like ambient music playing, right? And then you get more work done, then you would really benefit from meditating the same way, because already you're comfortable. Our higher self is the combination of ourselves, past, present, and future. As they all exist concurrently, our existence surpasses time and space. That resonates. Yeah, definitely try it. It works. You have to learn to control your prefrontal cortex, the rational brain. And you do that through mindfulness. Yes, ma'am. Practice focusing on different body parts from head to toe. You listen to Heather. She's dropping gems. And then too, I would also say for those of you that struggle with, if you struggle with following instructions or taking or following instructions, because there is that group that struggles with following instructions, reading the directions. You like, oh, I just got it. If you are a more hands-on type of learner, the best way to learn with hands-on is to keep your hands busy. Okay? So fidget spinners, if you to help you concentrate, moving something else at a rapid speed can sometimes slow down the way you process information because that your hand is moving, especially if you're anxious. Those are some things that I personally have had to use. Or popping rubber bands on your wrist is also a good trick. Reading directions. I have to be told what to do. Oh, you're good, Megan. If you're good at that, mhm. That makes sense. I did homework while ignoring that my dad was abusing my mom. Oh, hold on. Let me reread that. I did homework while ignoring. So you escape. Yeah, definitely escape. Mhm. A lot of times, every time that we escape, um, from like readings, doing so many readings and stuff like that, we create a fragment. We open a portal. Every time we escape, we open a portal of creation, right? Because there has to be some type of constant variable outside of our own construct of our perception. So the constant variable will be that another portal is open, another fragment will be created because you couldn't control that circumstance. So when we split ourselves and we escape from that situation, we give life. We create life, right? And so that moment of thought where we say to ourselves, if I could, right? We create a if and then hypothesis theory, and then we split ourselves. And then that reflection of our desire, our emotions, we emote it into existence, and then another child is born, or someone else in the world is connected to you in some way, so they may be simultaneously experiencing something that you're going through at the same time because they're a fragment of you. Is escaping a part of meditation? No, the the emotion of escaping is made from fear. So fear, y'all ever saw Monsters Inc? So every time they got a child to be afraid of what was in that closet, which is a door, it was generating something, okay? In that was generating, it was energizing a whole other realm, a whole nother reality, right? So the usage of fear to generate energy as a source, well, what's happening with all of that energy? That energy is creating something, is keeping something alive, right? So that's pretty much escaping comes from trauma, which is done to create more energy, create more light, create more fragments of existence. But when you meditate, you're anchoring. So meditation is the practice of anchoring something. Escaping is a fear, releasing fear. So omitting something. And a lot of times it's shadows. A lot of times the demons that we are afraid of are really fragments of our fear, fragments of our moments of escape. hmm Because if you think about a lot of the demons they're like shadows, right? So a lot of the shadows are everything you forget, right? I don't want to remember something, so it becomes, you put it in the closet. Eventually, the closet, when you open the closet door and the light is not on, you see a shadow, right? So our shadow is heavily tied to our trauma. Can those fragmented pieces be retrieved? Yes. Based one of the readings that I did last year, Spirit was called, I think it was called Pokemon or Gotta Catch Them All. And that was one of the healing journeys that I did in the channel message, where Spirit was pretty much talking about retrieving the fragments of your lost soul, retrieving the fragments of or pieces of yourself through other people. So when you go down and you meet a fragment of yourself, when you connect with that fragment, you can simultaneously heal each other through that interaction. So, for example, let's say Heather is a fragment of my soul and I experience an evolution or a growth. Heather will automatically and simultaneously experience some form of evolution because of my evolution. And thus, we become more whole. So think of it like looking at, you know how you turn two mirrors onto each other and it becomes duplicated, right? But you, the more you, what is it? It's not focus. It was like a whole channel message, but it was like the pretty much being able to see yourself into that, it's like looking into each other's eyes or being able to reflect light back to each other. Something happens where whatever their experiences are and your experiences are, one person will hold the missing pieces to all the questions that you have, and vice versa. So, in that moment, all the information that your soul needed to find the missing pieces happens just from that reflection of light back at yourself. So now you can fit, now you know, so that this is how you have conversations where you're like, oh my God, I went through that same experience, or oh my God, to know that I wasn't alone and you as well went through that, except in a different way. You find yourself having conversations with that person where you're like, I was doing the same exact thing at the same exact time. And it's because you're reflecting light back to each other. And then what happens? You integrate that information, and then that information becomes healed, right? That you fill in the pieces and you no longer feel alone. The emotion of loneliness also makes you create a void and split yourself. Why does the mind always look to solve issues versus just being at rest? Because it's a processing system. It is a PC unit. Anything that's created is has the source code, whether it's an AI intelligence or an or organic intelligence. It's always going to want to preserve itself. That's the core information that it stems from, the preservation of itself. Yeah, and really solving things doesn't necessarily mean fixing things, right? When we are in the act of fixing things, it's because we perceive them to be broken. But if we look at things, which is why a lot of times art is a very a very healthy way of perceiving right and wrong, broken or fixed, because art is the one of the modalities or one of the expressions where there are no rules. So if you want to understand fixing things comes from negative experiences. We only want to fix that. We have to compare it to something to be able to perceive it as broken, right? You don't know something is broken unless you have some type of information already there that suggests to you that this is the constant variable, that this is what it's supposed to be, and anything outside of that belief system is broken and needs to be brought back into this belief system. So for you to hold on to that constant variable means that you're comparing something, which would bring us back to this variable. So the question is, if you perceive it to be broken and that variable is broken too, the real question is which one is more better than the other. So it's like, let's say for example, how can we, let me give you a very simple one. Anytime that you have to compare something to something else, it's not original, right? Because it's been mutated, right? Over time, over evolution, it evolves and evolves and evolves. But if you are an originator, where you originate those belief systems from yourself or from your own soul, it won't have anything to compare it to because it doesn't need a reflection anymore to know that it's true. Getting to a space where you no longer need reflections of itself to know that it's real or to know that it's true is when you are really authentically aligned with who your higher self is, who you really are on a soul level. We can hold space for each other and mirror to each other what we need to mirror, but even the reflection that you see is already perfect, no matter what it looks like, right? A cat is not trying to be a dog. A cat is not trying to fix a dog. We're the only specimen, we're the only creation, human beings are the only creation that perceives other things outside of itself to be flawed. We're the only ones comparing perfection to something else. It's how we govern, right? Govern. our perception. Exactly. So the real question becomes, who told you you weren't perfect? Who told you that your stature, your height, your everything that makes you you wasn't already perfect? Refusing the perfection in the imperfection. You mean fusing or refusing? Okay, I get what you're saying. Refusing it. If we exist on an infinite number of timelines in a quadrahedron, then there is no possible thought, version, or reality that hasn't existed. Therefore, everything exists all at once. But I do feel I'm who and what I'm supposed to be, and not content with that. Not content with that. You're not content with being content. Is that what you're saying? Mm-hmm. I do. Your videos feel like guided meditation. Have you a channel, Heather? Heather monitoring our internal dialogue and challenging our cognitive distortions. Mm-hmm. Yo. Heather is really, you're really confirming a lot of things for me. Right? I think you were saying that you, psychology, you know a lot. So she is definitely right where she needs to be right now. Especially for my logical babes, my logical beings in the live chat who need, more textbook information. I love you too. I love you more, excuse me. I'm not the same me every day. I try not to define myself as it becomes a cage. Heather is talking psychologically for sure. Yeah, as philosophers of knowledge, you know, as explorers of wisdom, knowledge, understanding, everything is valuable. Science is valuable. Spirituality is valuable. All of it comes from the same intelligence. Think of it like, how you have English class, but you also have language arts. It creates diversity, all right? It holds space for levels of perception, multi-dimensional perceptions. So I feel it's always good to have a well balanced palette, right? And this is why being able to connect and network with other people is so important on the journey, because we stretch ourselves when we connect with other people. The more we're recluse and we just stick to our comforts and what we're content with, we limit our beliefs, we limit ourselves, and we're infinite beings. How can we really be infinite beings but are constantly triggered to have to just explore the infinite realms of conversation, the infinite versions of expressions? So to really be divine, you have to kind of become comfortable with division and different realms and different orders, and be a steward of that, hold space for that, different cultures, different perspectives. None of it's wrong and none of it's right. It just is connected. All of it's connected. Exactly. He says, how fit should I give my fourth child? Oh, that wasn't a real question. Okay. And that's why my favorite cartoon growing up was the Magic School Bus. Y'all, the how many of y'all author what cartoons did y'all grow up on? Because I liked Author, I liked the Magic School Bus. Um, what's the other one? Was it Dragon Tales? This is good. How often are you live? No schedule. I've done away with schedules. So whenever I feel divinely guided, when you a teacher and you decide to drive your class through a digestive tract. Yes, that was so brilliant. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I love like being a student is a forever thing. That is like a forever thing. Magic School Bus was dope. Dragon Tales. Yes, to fly with dragons in the land of hearts. Oh my god. Classic. I also was a big comfy couch. Mhm. The big red couch. That was my cartoon. That was my show, not my cartoon, my show. Strawberry shortcake. Gonna have you reveal my. I never watched Strawberry Shortcake. I mean, I've seen it, but never able to get into it. Yeah, just turn on your bell notifications and click all, so that way it'll let you know. Little Bear, SpongeBob. I was into the Umbrella Tree. I have to check that one out. I never heard of that one. Okay, so right now, whatever's on Netflix, what's your favorite show right now? You know, I was gonna say The Reading Rainbow. Ed, Ed, and Eddie. I haven't seen that. I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it. Sit and Be Fit. That's on Netflix? I don't know what that is. Listen, I haven't watched so for the past 2 years I didn't watch any TV on purpose, right? I would occasionally like maybe treat myself to a movie or something, like every so many months. But I stopped watching television. So I just now started getting back into like movies or different TV shows. And I felt like now I know why Spirit took television away from me, because had I watched TV like 2 years ago, I probably, like a lot of the shows that I'm watching right now is, it's like so on time. Yeah, if I saw it first, I probably wouldn't have believed the channel messages that I was getting. You know what I mean? Because it's like the shows that were, like when I look at the dates of when they were coming out or the things that I haven't seen, and then for me to like pick up on different things, it was very like at a, like a crash course of confirmations, you know? I watch Gaia through Prime Video. My sister loves Gaia channel. She likes to watch the channel, the ones where they, the documentaries where they're like channelers. You know what I'm talking about? And they channel like different Pleiadians, Draconian. They be channeling all different stuff. Yeah, she likes to watch those. Which dude? Oh, you mean someone that was on Gaia? Pluto TV. Never heard of that. I just don't feel like I have the patience for TV anymore. Oh, I know that feeling. If you don't have the patience for TV anymore, something major is going to happen to you in your life. And it's best that you be in your experience anyway. So it's a blessing to be in your company. I'm blessed to be in you guys' company. This is, feels really nice. I don't really get to hang out with you guys. Still not really watching TV. Patience. Yes. 111. Allison is on it. 1212 where I'm at. So this is perfect. This is synchronistic. 1212. Oh my goodness. What does 1212 mean? I don't even have my phone. What does angel number 1212 mean? We have to look that up. TT, do you live in Texas? Yes. Yes, ma'am. H Town. Okay. Are you born and raised Texas? Yeah, 1212. Mm-hmm. I'm originally from Georgia. I like Texas, but I'm not gonna be here forever. But I really feel like Texas has it's something special about Texas. I don't know how to explain it, but I really feel like it's close to Mexico, but something about it just felt really like if I was to stay in Georgia, I think something was going on in the air. I know that sounds wild, but hear me out. Something is going on in the air in Georgia. I don't care what nobody say. It is thick, like thick, and I feel like something coming for Texas soon too. So I ain't trying to be the reader. Do you know anything about human design? Sometimes you describe projectors exactly, and I wonder how many of us Taurians. I've heard of human design. I've never looked it up. How do you look up human design? I've had someone tell me before about human design. Turn it down some. Like, is it something you look up online or something? Big things popping, follow the nudges and guidance. Okay. I'm gonna make sure keep 1212 in mind. Arizona as well, thick. That's me. Angel number is a sign that you have worked hard and reached a crucial point in your process, but there is still more to go. Sheesh. Agree. Yeah, Texas. I'm in Houston, near woods and the sea. Warm winter and peace out in the summer. This is a very cool group. Yeah, we cool over here. Yes, you have to pay. I'll send a link. BRB, KK. There's an app you can use it for $5.99. You're a generator. Always more to go. Anytime I think of generator, I think of generators as like the builders of like the grid. You know, generators. Anytime I think of generators, it makes me think of an actual generator. Power sources, powerhouses, power sources. Kind of like how I was describing in Monsters Inc. You know, like y'all are the batteries, battery packs. What's up, double hierophant? Like the ones on the moon. Run the matrix. Yeah, like I feel like all of the prefixes, like words, like when I see words, because I don't have a lot of um like textbook experience or linguistics, right? So anytime that how I connect with language is through prefix, suffix. Um, it tells me its origin. That's kind of like how I do it. So as long as I know that, then I feel like then I know what I'm talking about. That's I don't know. Ain't nobody ever tell me that. So when I see anything that talks about GEN, it brings me back to genetics, generations, and a lot of different sources. It's called Latin. See, I mean, Heather said, I tell my students that all the time. It's called Latin. I just be doing context clues all day. Projectors, generators, manifesting generator. Latin is a dead language, but is the source of every language. See? So let me ask you a question. Latin. Latin. Sounds. When I see Latin, what does that make you think of? I know you once channeled this 911 thing I kept seeing until. Yeah, I think I did remember. I think I remember doing the 911 thing. I don't remember what I said, but I think I remember like the thumbnail or something like that. Yep. Makes you think of Belle. Hi, Angelique. You know there was a cartoon as well. I think her name was Angelique. She was a ballerina. But yeah, it's in the prefix for me. And then the prefix and the suffix ending words. So context clues. Um I feel like majority of the language, the closer that you can connect with language with the less words is and more of sounds or letters. Like each letter has its own cryptography, you know? So if you look at kind of like the primey of everything, primey school of everything, you really can get a lot of access to a lot of anything, right? Because again, to me the oldest form of communication is imagery. Because if you think about our eyes, which are windows, we're perceiving images, light and dark, reflectors that create shapes, shadows. So like color, the color spectrum. Colors is like language. Rainbow covenant. What you know about that, Angelique? Subconsciously embedded. That's correlation from our cognitive schema. She said nothing. Oh, behave, girlfriend. She over here trying to have a whole internal conversation with me. How you know how to do that? Hmm. Mm-hmm. Cause I'm a Taurus my whole life. You have a very strong aura. You have a very strong aura. What are you, a fire sign? What's your sun sign, Miss Dorsey? My son is a Taurus. He shares a B-day with my bro. I know I'm a Virgo. Okay, Virgos. Y'all messengers. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Libra rising. Virgo rising. I knew I was picking up a little fire sign. You got that moon in Leo. So yeah, especially when you in old dark 30. When the sun go down, the Leo come out. Mm-hmm. Channeling this shift we in, girl. Oh, you can feel it. Yes. You good? Okay. Every day, all day. Listen, y'all cutting up tonight. This is a good thing. I feel like we have successfully crossed over. Your daughter trying to get a cookie. She's trying to pull me out the vortex. That's what she's trying to do. This is like underneath the moonlight. Oh my goodness. That's like all this energy. I don't know if y'all can be feeling it, but it's so much energy. Has anyone really been able to sleep? Like it feels like being up, but not feeling tired. The days are all colliding together like a kaleidoscope. You feel like a baby? I was awake. The sky is awake, so I was awake. So I've been up. You don't even know what's happening anymore. Can't sleep. You sleep too much all day. Sheesh. Mm-mm. I'm on a whole nother time schedule. Yeah, I feel like falling asleep random times throughout the day, it's like that's when you just need downloads. Methuselah. Oh, you are hilarious. I cooked, I cleaned, and now I'm eating. You're eating? Listen, it's spring. Y'all know that spring. Have y'all seen the pollen? The spring is springing. Y'all birthdays are about to come up. Taurus season is almost upon us. Soon as we get through Aries season, y'all turn is coming up. Taurus season is coming. What are your birthday plans? How are you celebrating this return? Welcome. Say that. Good night, Xbox. I have a kind of personal question, so trigger alert if you get grossed out by regular human bodies. Okay. I've definitely been waking up in the middle of the night. Ancestors knocking on your door. Freedom and love. Where my red moon queens at? I just found out I was one recently and it's been on the day ever since. I don't know what that is. You gotta be more blunt for me. We'll meet my soulmate in late May. Hopefully, we'll meet my soulmate in late May. So it is, if you want to. Angel numbers are always your first point of reference. For guidance, look up to the number you see. Mm-hmm. Agree. I'm extremely germophobic. Oh, you have your cycle in the full moon. Mm. What is the moon cycle? What is the moon right now? Oh, no, you did not just say don't go to Germany because she's germophobic. I'm done. I'm done. Angelique. Where you come from? Girlfriend. Don't go to Germany. Waxing credit. Oh my God. Her base card does not decline. Waxing credentials. Get it? A crescent. Okay, anyway. Keep counting. I live in Kansas. Oh my God, that's crazy. You say you live in Kansas because I was literally just the other day talking about Wizard of Oz. I've been saying for a long time. I don't know if y'all be catching it. I'm like, you're not, Taurus, you are not in Kansas anymore. I was even talking about Toto. Y'all remember that? Something's going on. Something be going on. You're from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Historically and tribes most all have the same cycle. Fertility. Mmm. I don't know nothing about none of that, but it sounds interesting. I have a lot of siblings. So all I knew was when one person got on, everybody was getting on. Where there was one person, everybody would sync up. That's all I knew. As guides, projectors are here to offer insight, wisdom, and direction to others. They are often able to see things that others miss, understand systems and patterns, and offer guidance. Oh, very interesting. I'm gonna figure out what mine is. But you know, I be already doing that type of stuff, so but it's cool to see it. It sounds very familiar. Sounds very familiar. I like taking apart things and putting things back together. Please don't murder my entire family. Okay. Bet my cousin is a projector. I believe you. So you be in sync with other women, then y'all supposed to be creating together. I tried to tell them. I said, y'all are the seven star sisters. And then nobody believed me. So, you know, I'm the eighth one. So I gotta do it on my own. But that doesn't happen to everybody. That don't happen. I thought that happened like to all women. I thought that happens to all women. Let me know something. You're a well. No, you're not. Of course, you're not. Absolutely, that is not true. Do you know how valuable it is to know facts? Good night, Aziza. It is very valuable to know facts. hmm There is a whole level of consciousness that requires facts. So, at the end of every sentence, hit them with a Heather. Heather, finish them. This is important. Do not discredit your facts. Dracaris. No, you didn't. Dracaris. Good night, everyone. This is the one named Sailor Moon. Yeah, I got on my Sailor Moon shirt too. She will never turn her back on her friends. She is always there to defend. That is the first, I think, no, yeah, that's the first animation to hit, I think, the States, right? First anime to hit the States. Okay, you guys, I love you. I'm gonna put myself to bed, and I will see y'all tomorrow. The channel message. I enjoy our conversation, and I will see y'all on the other side in the 5D, y'all. Okay. Good night.